Hi friends, today we're going to focus on a little bit more of the recovery side of movement practice, and I've invited my friend, or I'm not sure if it's my friend, but the foam roller, and I'm going to show you a couple of ways of to roll out your muscles with this guy. So I thought we'll start with the upper back. And if your foam roller doesn't look exactly like this, it doesn't matter. Maybe yours is longer. Awesome, good for you. If it doesn't have these little nuggets here, doesn't matter, all right? So we're gonna start with laying the foam roller horizontal. From here, placing your feet into the ground and placing the foam roller kind of around the area of your shoulder blades. I'm gonna take my hands behind the neck, but I'm not lifting. I don't have to carry my head here. It's just a place where I can rest my head into the hands. Feet can be hip width distance apart, maybe wider, depends on what feels good in your body. And then I'm gonna lift my hips up, just for allowing a little bit of rolling motion here, back and forth over the area around the shoulder blades. I don't go all the way down towards the lower back. I just stay here in the upper middle back area. Getting the technique in here. And if you would like to, you could even move the elbows in towards the head and really opening up in between the shoulder blades as you're rolling out here. And if it feels like you're rolling a little bit further and further away, that's probably true. So in the middle of everything, maybe we need to stop, taking the foam roller a little bit further down, and we'll just start over. And we can roll here for as long as it feels nice, but we're just gonna stay here for another 3, 2, and 1. Lovely. From here, rolling over to one side. And I'm gonna place the foam roller on the side body. So depending on what your muscles are like, what the hydration is like in your body, this could be either pretty pleasant or it can be kind of painful. So see how much your body wants to take of this. And if it's really painful, don't do it or avoid it. Maybe try again tomorrow and see if there is a difference in the sensations. So I like to really roll out here, kind of under the armpit down towards the rib cage. Be careful here, rolling over the bones can be a little bit more sensitive. And this can look anyway. Can look a little bit silly, but man, it feels good. Good, let's try the other side. If you find a place in your body where it really feels good, maybe you like to stay there for a little bit. We could even wiggle a little bit back and forth here, moving cross over the muscle fiber. Don't forget to breathe. If there is too much of sensation that you can't breathe, we know that this area is a little bit too sensitive for this. So then it's a good sign that you should probably move away from the area and maybe give it a try another day. All right, let's move into bigger muscles. I'm thinking glutes. Glutes can be a really satisfying area. It can be really tight. So if you know that your glutes are a little bit tighter, we can use both legs into the floor and just roll back and forth here. Good, my assistant has arrived. Or if you would like a little bit more sensation, we can take one leg up. I'm taking my right leg here, my right ankle on top of the thigh, and then I can roll back and forth, but also coming over towards the side of the muscle here. And rolling a little bit more on the outside of the hip. And let's change legs. Either you continue with just rolling both glutes at the same time, both sides, or changing the leg, coming up into a little bit more flexibility in the way that you can roll the muscles. All right, last breath here. And let's remove the roller and sit down. So I thought we would continue our way through the body down towards the hamstring muscle. And again, if you know that your hamstring can be a little bit sensitive, use both legs at the same time. This creates a bigger surface where the foam roller rolls on and takes some of the pressure off. But if you would like a little bit more pointed, we'll cross one leg over, and then from here, rolling back and forth. We can roll it a little bit from side to side. It's a big muscle, this hamstring. And we could even stay a little bit just rolling from side to side. And not only are my muscles getting a little bit of a exercise here, but it's really workout for the arms that has to carry the upper body here. Good, let's take a moment, relax the upper body, and then let's continue on the left side. So if you like that idea of crossing one leg over, we'll do the same on this side. So the idea behind rolling your muscles is this idea of breaking up muscle fibers from each other. So the human body is really efficient. So when it notices that we're doing some movements more often than others, it's going to get specialized in that movement. So say that you're doing a lot of walking, so the body's going to become really efficient in doing that motion of taking one foot in front of the other. So when we ask the body to do some kind of other range of motion, it's going to be a little bit tricky because the muscle fibers are so used to doing one thing. And there's this idea that they kind of get glued together. So that's where the idea of breaking the muscle fiber comes from. All right. So we've done the hamstrings, calves coming up for you. And we're going to use the same techniques on the calf muscles. Again, if there's sensitivities here, maybe they're sore already, we can do both calves at the same time. And you guessed it, if you want a little bit more of a kick, we can lift the leg up and use the other leg to really press the muscle into the roller. And also here we could just roll the muscle back and forth. If there is a spot where you feel like, yep, that's where I want to stay, you stay there. Maybe even stay in that spot and do circles with your ankle. Going one direction, opposite direction. And change. Good. And this is just a demonstration. So if you would like to focus a little bit longer on one muscle or another area, do that. If you want to skip some, perfect. Good. Maybe staying, rocking a little bit from side to side. And we can rotate the ankle. First one direction and opposite direction. Beautiful. I'm going to move on to an area which in my body is quite sensitive, and this is the outside of the thigh, which is called the IT band. It's called an IT band because there is a muscle that then becomes a tendon, goes out here, goes all the way down towards the knee. And of course, depending on what you're used to doing with your body, this can be maybe nothing, and maybe it's really a sensation here. So either we keep one foot in the floor here as a support as we start rolling. Gonna even try to roll a little bit down further here. And if you're really in for something, you could line up the legs on top of each other and from here, roll. Good, I'm gonna say that's about it for that side. I'm gonna change to the other side. And if you start adding this foam rolling or maybe even massaging your muscles on a more regular basis, the theory says that this gets easier. So as the muscle fibers become more hydrated, as the fascia, the connective tissue gets more hydrated, it's supposed to ease this up. And just like if you've done massage on a regular basis, you've noticed that maybe the shoulders become more supple and soft. It's the same idea with this foam rolling. Good. Let's take a last breath here. And calm down. Let's take a moment. Breathe a little bit. So we're working our way then towards the top of the thigh, the quadriceps, the four muscles that are running over the top of our legs. And here it could be more beneficial with a longer foam roller, but you know, if this is what we have, we'll make do with what we have. So maybe you want to roll one leg at a time, or maybe you can fit both of them on here. I'm just gonna roll back and forth here on the muscle. Could even play around a little bit with angling my toes out for a little bit more on the inside of the muscle, or angling the toes a little bit in to get a little bit more towards the outside of the muscles. Let's do it for 3 more breaths. And slowly coming out. So we've almost done a whole round around the upper leg. So the only thing that's missing now is the inside of the thigh. So I'm going to turn my roller diagonally. This is not diagonally, it's vertical. There we go. And if you've ever done yoga and you've done frog pose, we're going to kind of imitate that frog pose leg here. I'm just kicking my leg out towards the side, and then from here, rolling back and forth. I'm just noticing what the body feels like in the different places. And we're not going into that space of judging or being mean to ourselves. Just noticing that my inner legs are really tight. And maybe we want to do some reflection on what we're doing in our daily life, or maybe what we're not doing in our daily life. Changing side. Last 3, 2, and 1, and release. Good. And as a last exercise, again, could be beneficial with a longer foam roller. So see how it feels. If you have the shorter one, maybe this exercise is not for you, but we're going to place it alongside the spine. And if you've had a longer one, you could even have supported under your butt all the way out towards your head. But I'm just going to prioritize the head here. And then I'm going to pretend that I'm making snow angels here. I'm just going to take my arms all the way up and then slowly, slowly go through the whole range of motion here. I might even lift my hips up a little bit. Kind of mimicking that they're being supported by the foam roller. Really getting in between the shoulder blades. I'm going to hold in that space where I feel a little bit extra challenged. And I'm just going to hold it here for 3, for 2, and for 1, and release. And just allowing the chest to open, the shoulders to drop towards the side. All right. That was it for my foam rolling ideas. I hope you have enjoyed, that your muscle will benefit from this, and I hope to see you soon. Thank you.